skeleton in the closet. It was a normal morning until Graig opened his closet and found a skeleton inside. Beneath his shirts, crumpled lifelessly between a stack of old shoeboxes and a dusty suitcase, was a skeleton. Graig looked at the pile of bones, frantic questions running through his head. This had to make sense, but he just couldn't connect what he was seeing with a logical answer. She must have been pretty, Graig thought, surprising himself. It was just a bunch of bones. He didn't even know if it was a woman. He shook the thought away and focused on the most pressing issue. The skeleton couldn't stay here, and Graig doubted the police would believe she had simply appeared. He had ample land, though, and finding a place to bury her wouldn't be a problem. This could stay a secret. The bones fit snugly in the suitcase. Digging the hole was a chore, but before long the dirt was packed tight again and he could move on with his day. Everything could go back to normal. The next morning, Graig was shocked to find that once again there was a skeleton in his closet. It sat on the floor, draped in a blood-stained sundress. I burned that dress, Graig thought, as old memories resurfaced, carrying an awful secret. He stuffed the bones in a trash bag and went back to the spot where he had buried yesterday's skeleton. He dug the same hole, uncovering his suitcase. It was empty, so he placed the skeleton and the dress inside and filled the hole again. All day his thoughts drifted back to the skeleton. He would catch himself staring off towards where he buried her, wondering if she was still there. In bed, he tossed and turned, jumping at every bump in the night. "She is dead and buried," he repeated like a lullaby, easing his troubled mind to sleep. To his relief, the morning light revealed a closet free of bones. Just shirts and old boxes, a perfectly normal closet. With a bounce in his step, he made his way downstairs to start the day with some coffee. His hope for the day shriveled as he entered the kitchen. The skeleton was seated at his table, her dress dripping with old blood. She stared at him with green eyes nestled deep in bony sockets, silently hurling curses. Her glare accused him, vilified him, reflected his darkest shame. Graig was so lost in those swirling pools of guilt that he didn't notice his shotgun held in the revenant's hands. His knees buckled under the weight of his conscience. Barely catching himself on the table, he lowered into the seat next to her. His heart wept as he looked into her eyes. She leaned towards him, softly tucking the barrel of the gun under his chin. Shaking, he wrapped his finger around the trigger. Her eyes begged him for justice. Graig whispered a final confession and squeezed the trigger.